Alright, I'm just going to go through a few of my, obvious objects swooping by, passing by, cutting through the sky, cutting through the clouds, yada yada. Things that just can't be explained as anything other than some anomalous thing passing through the sky. I mean, clearly you can see I'm lagging pretty bad, but right here behind the telephone wires you can see the object, and here's its trail, little wakes. There's another one at night coming. You got the kind of compression right here, trail cutting in. One of the better ones is cutting in from the left right here. You can see it. Now I'm sure people have seen the video that I posted of this, so it's not just photos that I have. I got the videos to back most of these up, and the original photos, unedited photos, everything archived, so I can basically prove the validity of every single one of my photos. So don't try to call them Photoshop, or I'll make you look dumb. They are what they are. There's another one popping out of the clouds, leaving its spiraling trail. Object right there. There's another one pushing across the sky. I mean, this is your telltale, object thing. There's always going to be some little, specks or whatever up front. And it's just like an object moving through the sky, just like a comet. But I don't know that they're comets. I don't know that they're asteroids. I don't know what the hell they are. I just know they're not normal clouds. I don't think it's blue beam. It's possible, but there are other effects that go along with when I see these things. Pressure changes, wind kicking up. I mean, you can feel it. Your hair stands up on your arms. It's like there is something up there. The distance, I don't know. Got one coming in right here, shooting in from the left. Illuminated. Probably somewhere down here. This is its wake bubble, as I like to call it. Makes it look like it's a lot bigger. Here's the schlong cloud as it looks, stretching out. Bleeding off, ion bleed downward with the, you got the perfect sphere right there. You got illumination right there, illumination back in here. You got some little rocky looking dark objects right here at the lead. I watched this thing stretch out like, I don't even want to say it, but like a schlong cloud. And I was like, what kind of cloud is this? It's one of the weirdest looking clouds I've seen. Typical OCGs, object cluster groups, look like just a bunch of little straight trails cutting in, little illuminated freaking dots or objects at the very front. That's what typical OCG group looks like. Just a bunch of little trails coming in right above the horizon, cutting in at a slight angle. Sometimes you have another group coming in from the other direction. They always have this darker cloud color. It's like smoke. Even though it doesn't look like that to our eyes most of the time. If you dim your cameras down, you'll see the true color. They're just kind of overbled by the white and blue and, bright light. Here's another one. You can see it coming in. You got man, my shit is lagging. Sorry about that. Got the nice little trail right there. So the object's probably up here. It's cutting the trail as it's pushing through. There may even be a second one in here. Man, there's that same thing. Look at it. I mean, see how it stretches out like that? What fucking cloud does that? Perfect little sphere, illuminated sphere at the front. All these little like gaps in the dark cloud. What's this illuminated? It's usually illuminated by something. Yeah, this was the green asteroid coming in, just like the OCG's got the trails. I mean, look at the big green object right here. Over here is that's the lead object. It's its typical kind of golden, tannish brown color. And they always, for some reason, will displace the clouds. Like if it's right here, there'll be a displacement, and you'll be able to see the shape. So I mean, they have an influence. So over here, it could be the damn cube. You got to take all that stuff into account. None of it's just really random cloud anymore, especially at sunsets and sunrises. Yeah, another lead objects. Also looks like a friggin' schlong. I think they got a sick sense of humor. This thing, it's either one of the lead objects or it's the Empire orb, or so it always has this one single stripe across it, and it always stays horizontal. You could even see kind of like a square shape behind it. Coming in. It's definitely not natural. Here it is again. You got an object right here. You got the green one right there, cutting in this way. This is back in 2019. They were cutting in this way, all the little specks right here. It's not just pixelation. That's actually from the debris, the small little black object things that are always flying around. They're statically clinging or bound to these objects, but being, bounced around. Here's the lead object again, coming in like this. It's got the twin trails. You got the little horizontal wakes right there, the ripple wakes as it's pushing in. Everything comes together just like it's being displaced around an object. You see that? Yeah. And you got the kind of washout in the sky, just like water, but in a thinner medium. There's that one again, coming in across. You could even see it's kind of got it's probably up here. Got the kind of odd color. And you have like this weird random golden color here with the kind of bluish gray. That's actually, I think, one of the planets. Looks a lot like Uri. I could be wrong, but it matches. There's another little group right here. They only show up like this very momentarily, so you gotta be on your toes if you want to catch them, because they'll basically pop out, make these little obvious trails and wakes, and then they just get overtaken, dip back behind the clouds, and it vanishes, or it fades into a shadow of something, and then they just disappear from sight. But it almost looks like there may be something right here. Clearly there's an object cutting across. Same thing here. Got kind of an object right there. Something in there making it. Got everything kind of wake trails. You see that dark spot, everything's kind of light around it. It displaces. Have like a magnetic effect. There's again. The same thing with the leads cutting across the bottom of the horizon. They always do that here. I'm sure they do it like that other places. Cutting in, you can see the straight kind of line trails coming off of it as it's pushing in this way. It's pretty typical. See it up in there. Two little trails right there. And this one fire in the sky. And you got this thing. Those two little trails kind of coming off of it, whatever it is. Illuminated objects right there. Back in 2019. That's when I caught that one. Actually got some. There's a completely different day. This is actually at night. Same thing as that. Just different distances. Cutting over somewhere right in here. He's leaving his trail. Orange illumination right above it. Vivid blue, kind of purplish sky behind it. Lit up by a lightning bolt. Kind of shows you right here. Everything kind of peaks down right here. So there's definitely an object right there. It's almost like the orange is ionized gas. And that's why it's glowing. Not so much that it's illuminated by the sun, but I think it's like an ionized, electrified. And it is again completely different time. A night. There's another night shot. Got those two telltale streaks, and then the cut trail. You almost got like the darker object right there. There'll be another one up here. There's usually two of them. There'll be one up front that you don't see because it's pushed up into the incoming cloud. But then you got the second one that usually trails behind it that breaks everything up, and that's where you see the, got a little freaking drone, something checking it out. You can almost see the outline right there. Usually in twos. Here's another example, completely different night. It's like you got one right here, you got another one up here somewhere, ionized, illuminated, when it gets close to the horizon, and then perfect trails coming off of it, ripple wakes, pretty damn obvious. Here's another one, completely different night, same kind of thing. This one actually, you got one and then you got the one up front. For some reason there's always two. It actually looks like an open mouth, but coming in same direction, different time of the year. Illuminated orange again. And I'm sure everyone's seen this one plenty of times if you watch my channel. One of my most luckiest catches. I didn't even see it in the sky. It was illuminated briefly right when I was taking a sequence with my Nikon. Got a nice little temporary illuminated crescent. Perfect ion bleed coming off of it, telling you that is not the moon. The moon doesn't freaking bleed off ionized gases, vapors like this. Definitely an electrical interaction. There's another one. Typical freaking kind of like reverse horseshoe with the you got the little objects right here. Wherever these little illuminated spots are and these things, there's something up in here. There's one up in here. One up right there. You stare at this stuff long enough, like I have, and it's just everything stands out. Here we go again, cutting across. This is during a close pass of auto, I think. Pretty obvious. There's something up there bleeding off. Another one down here. You just can't see them because they're not illuminated. All you see is their ion bleed off, their trails. A little close up. Yeah, you got a little spy plane up there checking it out. They will always be flying around when these things are in the sky because they study them too. Here's another one right here, hidden in the clouds. You would never see this unless you took a photo and zoomed in. See the outline of it. See they're there. They're either not illuminated, they're very dark in nature, or you're just looking at them through our thick atmosphere, our blinding thick atmosphere. But you can see the outlines, and they always break, the cloud. You see how it's so dark right here? It's like its trail. This is another one. This is a good one. This is actually go with my panoramas, but you can see there's objects right here. There's clusters in here. There's clusters up front. This is a cluster group coming in. Here's another good one. You can actually see it right here. This illuminated ionized trail behind it. Modest clouds, all that good stuff. That's the interaction when these things come in, interacting with our lower atmosphere electrically. A lot of electrical exchange going on in this. Hence the bleed off from the atmosphere. And those little dark, you can actually see them. See the little dark. Those things are always up in this ionized cloud area. There's another one right there. They're all over in this stuff, I'm telling you. There's one up there. And another one cutting through. You got the nice little sphere right there. They just make the sky just looks different too. See how everything's kind of bowed down, as if there's an object right here. You know, maybe birds, maybe not. I don't know. They do like to follow under these things and ride the updrafts. Those vultures will just sit there and circle under these things, you know, just riding the free uplift. But I mean, that's pretty clear. Just a weird sky. There's another one cutting across, leaving the two trails, just like always. One on top, one on bottom, sphere in the front. There's another one, same thing. You got the two trails. Always those two kind of trails coming off these bigger ones. You can even see as it's pushing in to this fog bank, this kind of rainy looking fog bank, it's actually pushing it as it cuts through. And that actually cuts all the way up like that, as its wake basically pushes up and displaces it. There we go again. Pushing this way, under probably a planet or something. You got this sphere shaped thing up front. Now, I'm not trying to say I know what they are, I'm just saying, pointing out what's up there. It's up to all of us to figure out what the hell they are. Or just look at them and be entertained, whatever suits you. And again, see how you got the cut right here where they cut these trails. You got the illumination, usually 1 and 2. The big one's always behind the little one. You know, it's not normal cloud behavior. Here we go again, coming in, see? Got the little spherical thing here. There's another one right there. The wake, trail, compressions. Got the trail, dark trail cutting through two really dark objects right here. You know, obviously under something bigger. There's a weird coloration up here. This is at night, illuminated by the moon. Perfect little asteroid cloud. Man, that actually looks like the fucking cube right there. I just noticed that. So much weird stuff when you start looking. This little trail. These are the ones that I catch all the time. Low on the horizon. Look at that. See that crap? Cutting a trail straight through the bottom of this cloud. Perfect little sphere. Perfect little trail. Going horizontal. You know, and then all this funky crap up here. I mean, you got these rainbow clouds, blue illumination, freaking all this dark stuff is not normal cloud. It looks all disturbed, popcornish. You got all these little black dots in there. If you got a good enough camera, you'll see them. This was the green asteroid doing its swoop dive right here with its gnarly ion bleed off trail with the lead object right above it. It's got the wrinkly face, as I kind of describe them. Green asteroid is it's a grouping, one big one and a bunch of smaller ones around it. That's why its trail looks all funky. And they are usually, well, they have been pretty close to each other. They're usually somewhere close around the sun, sunrise and sunsets, depending on your position. Got the vivid blue right here behind it. Here's another one, completely different time, cutting across trail just like normal. Looky there, same frickin' thing, little sphere cutting its trail right through, right behind the barn as usual. I mean, how can people explain that? I can't. Here we go again. This one's definitely manipulated, to bring out the contrast, and you can see the wake, the trail. I mean, you can tell there's definitely something pushing through right there. There it is again, a little closer. See the little wake. There's a better picture of that one from before. You can see it cutting through, displacing the clouds. Got the illumination, got the two little trails, one on top, one on the bottom. I mean, it's beautiful. Different one at night, illuminated object. Got the wake right here, got its trail. You always got the illumination when it gets close to the horizon. There we go again. You got the vivid blue on one of the planets up there. You got the two lead asteroids. The smaller, elongated one, it's kind of standing upright. It's got the twin trails. You know, it's somewhere up in there. And then you got the big, more spherical one with the sharp, kind of obsidian-looking spikes poking out of it over here in the rear. Both pushing over, right above the horizon as usual. This was when the green asteroid did a close pass, 2019. You see it right here. It's cutting in this way, and there's those two trails. Nice green coloration. There's the lead object again, pushing, cutting that trail, cutting that little tunnel path as it pushes in, displacing everything behind it, which makes it look like it's carving little gopher tunnels. And you got the lead object coming in. It always gives off these horizontal ripple effects. So I kind of call it wrinkle face. It's just how its wakes form back together. There's the panoramas of that cluster group coming in. You can see there's two little groups right there, some groups right there. Perfect little. There's a better one. And you can see the trails coming off. You just gotta know how to read the wakes. Here we go again. There's old wrinkle face. Okay, wrinkle face got its little wakes coming in as it's, kicking up its little bow wake here, leaving this little bleed off trail behind it. Chemtrail plane, up there, running the line right to it as usual. They always point you right to it. People are just too naive, to read the signs and wonders. They like to point right towards them. Everybody just likes to shrug them off. Times for shrugging things off is over. It's time to be wide-eyed and aware of your surroundings. There's again, same damn thing. Cutting in right here. A little spherical shape, a little smaller one behind it. Darker trail as it's pushing in. Same freaking area as always. There it is again. You got the two of them cutting the trail. You got one right here shooting over. You got this bleed off trail coming up. You got the illuminated kind of sphere bulge at the very front. There's another one down here. Is that smaller one? But that was their path. And as they basically get way over here, their path will start bleeding downward. That's where you get all the mammatus type clouds. It's all the ion bleed off that's flowing off of their trail, their electrified trail. And this is where they shoot in from. There we go again, yet again, shooting in like this, cutting in the bottom. Little object right here, pushing in. Kind of right above his barn, as usual. I mean, they always do the same repetitive shit above my neighbor's barn. I mean, it gives you a good fixed perspective, though, when you see these things. And you see them coming in the same direction, the same spot, doing the same thing. It's not just coincidence. Here's again, second photo, not a fluke. Timestamped. There's another one coming in. Got those compressions. Got the two little trail kind of coming off of it. You can tell something's shooting over. Depending on what day, they'll be coming this way. The next day, they'll be coming that way. It just depends on which. They kind of get tossed back and forth in their orbits under the wakes of these larger objects as they pass. So they'll zigzag. I mean, I've seen them cut this way, cut that way. You know, they'll be shooting this way, and then something will come this way and kind of change their direction, and then all of a sudden they're following this direction, and it's just pretty damn strange. They don't obey the normal laws of physics as we know them. This is the back side of the two leads. You know, you kind of got the little spikes, and it's kind of hard to see in this photo, but you got the two little trails. There you see there's that same one, different day, different time of the year, farther away, so it's a lot smaller, but it's got those three little kind of wrinkles on the side, standing upright, elongated. The larger spherical one, I think, is back here somewhere. They're swooping in this way. There's another group that was swooping in under them. I think that's the lead object. I have not figured it out for sure, but it's got the wrinkles and it's got the same coloration. Almost looks like a Ninja Turtle face to me. See how it kind of makes this paintbrush where it's like it just washes away or pushes away the clouds, so you can kind of see almost like they're like a window cleaner. You know, they just kind of scrape everything, creating a path. And that's usually how I see them, poking through, illuminated. This is that one on a close pass, shooting down right here. You see all the turbulent wake washout. You can see the debris, little spikes, little black obsidian looking freaking spikes in the debris that are sticking out of its little cloud envelope. Yeah, that one was so close, I could feel it. It was a godly experience to watch this thing. I mean, it looked like it was gonna collide into the planet at its angle. It was coming down, but that's just how far away it really is. And the fact that, you know, I don't know. You guys decide for yourself. I'm just showing you. The clouds don't make sharp points. There's a different day right here. Cutting a little collage. Completely different days. Different days. Different day. See how there's like this sphere. It's kind of bleeding off, kind of dark vapor. It's almost like they're terraforming. You got the other one coming in like this. This little compression wake as it's pushing in. You know, definitely. Another one busting out of the cloud. Transparent, but there. Spherical object. Something. You know, you start seeing a pattern in all these photos I'm showing you. They're doing the same thing. There's another image. See the different, it looks like it's different densities. You got the lighter blue down here, then you got the thicker, darker blue up there. Almost like something large up above is, you know, pushing down and changing the densities or mixing the densities of our atmosphere. And that's it.